Hey everyone, welcome to Healerverse. I'm going to be interviewing some of my holistic practitioner and spiritual friends to bring you more information about what's out there. We're going to have so much fun. I cannot wait. Love you guys. Hey guys, welcome. This is my friend Sara Ashley, and I'm so excited that she's here. So as you know, I'm interviewing my spiritual and holistic healer friends, and she's definitely one of them, to say the least. Sara actually taught me like intro to astrology, and it was more than intro. And actually I've still been like integrating it into like my being because there's so much to know with astrology, and I'm like an aspiring astrologer, astrologist. Which one is it?
Astrologer. I like astrologer better.
Okay,
Astrologist sounds like a doctor. It sounds like some kind of doctor who would do that. So I like astrologer better.
Yeah. And we love astrology. There's like a bug. We love astrology. There's so much to know. And like really like your birth chart, right, Sara? Like your birth chart, like where all the planets were and the stars when you were born really does say a lot about you. And whether you're a believer or not a believer, like it's fact.
Right. It's your soul's blueprint. It predicts like your personality, your proclivities, your shadow side, the kind of person you're attracted to, all those kind of things. Even like what kind of house you'd like to live in, you know, if you like to travel or not, it's all there. It's all on your birth chart. And it's so important to know. It's just so important to know because it explains so much. Like, why do I like this? Why don't I like this? It's right there in your birth chart.
Yeah, I love that. And it does too, like say like what kind of a person that you're going to want to attract. And I think it's so important for us to like know about ourselves in order to know like that we're standing in our own power and true to ourselves.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because it does empower you. Any kind of information, any kind of tool empowers you, right? So that's why, like, I tell people, like, get a reading with a professional astrologer and then learn astrology for yourself. Because if you don't understand yourself, there's no possible way you can understand anybody else. So you have to know yourself first, right? I think, well, who was it that said that? Was it Socrates or Hippocrates? I forgot like which Greek philosopher said that, but you need to understand yourself. And the birth chart definitely gives you all those tools to empower yourself and to get even into like a career that fits you. Like sometimes people don't know, like they doubt themselves, right? Like, should I really go into this field? I'm 42 years old. Should I switch lanes? It's like, yes, it's absolutely. You want to do it. It's in your birth chart. Like this is like your divine birthright to go into this kind of career. So it's all there. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's so true. And I feel like too, like, so it also coincides with where the planets are at right now, right? Mm-hmm. So like, here's my birth chart and these are where the planets are right now, and whatever is direct, conjunct, like,
yeah.
really,
so like,
right?
Right. Because, you know, your birth chart stays the same forever, like your fingerprints, right? But the universe is constantly moving and constantly changing. So because everybody has their unique soul's blueprint, which is their birth chart, the universe, whatever's going on in the universe is going to impact each person differently. And the inner planets, which are Mars, Venus, Mercury, and then we call the sun and moon planets, even though they're luminaries, but just for our intents and purposes, planets, right? Those all move very quickly, right? Like the moon moves every 2.5 days. It changes sign every 2.5 days, that's a better way to say it. So because the outer planets, okay, which are Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, and Uranus, those move slower. Okay. So those are going to even have a more like bigger impact on that person's chart and also their those years. So there could be like 18 years because Pluto sometimes has like an 18-year transit. Wow. Where your life can be like in complete disarray. And you're like, why? It's like, well, yeah, Pluto was on your rising, you know, for like 5 of those 18 years. And that's why you were in like, you know, your personality went through such an overhaul. So it's really important for people to understand, you know, not only their own personal birth chart, but like what's going on in that moment. And I tell people, you know, my clients, like, don't come to me every month for a new current transits reading, like come every 3 or 4 months, because those outer planets, like I said, they don't change drastically for a while, but those inner planets, they do change very quickly. And those, you know, those could also impact those people a lot, depending on what's going on in their chart. And if there's retrogrades going on and all that, we have a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn coming up, which I'm like, oh my goodness, because yeah, because Capricorn, that is, you know, the planet of government. It's the planet of restriction, discipline, rules, the foundations of society, which have definitely been going, you know, through a giant overhaul.
True.
Because it's been in Capricorn since 2008. And that's when we saw Occupy Wall Street, the mortgage crisis, all of it, the big banks, you know, getting bailed out. So we're coming to the end of that era starting in March. Yeah. So with this Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, I feel like that's really going to change a lot of, I think, our governmental structures, and perhaps, you know, really impact the economy a lot. And we've already been seeing some rumblings of that with the FTX cryptocurrency bombshell, and who knows what else is going to happen because of that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was super powerful. And that's just like, it is so incredible how, you know, and things can be so predicted too by astrology, right? Like sometimes we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we kind of know based on astrology, like what is going to generally happen.
Right.
Yeah.
You combine like that planet with the personality of that sign, with the flavor of that sign, and you could, you know, predict more or less like what's going to happen on a world scale. Do we know exactly what's going to happen? I mean, anyone who tells you like this is exactly what's going to happen, like they're a charlatan. Like there's no possible way we can predict exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
But, you know, when we had the Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, and that was I think December 2019. And that's when COVID-19 happened. So that was like Saturn, governmental structures, restriction, Jupiter in Capricorn. So Jupiter is actually the planet of expansion, but it was, you know, contracting, you know, with all those rules, with Capricorn type of rules. And then Pluto, which is transformation and death. So you add all those things together, it's like lockdowns, viruses, you know, all those kind of things that we didn't enjoy particularly at that time. I don't think anybody was having a good time right then. So, you know, yeah, but there's a couple astrologers like maybe we'll have a pandemic. Some astrologers were like, you know, governments are going to start to overreach, but I don't think there was any astrologer that was like, we're going to have an upper respiratory pandemic with government overreach coming from China. No one like said that, like, so, you know,
and who knows if it even came from China?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah, who even knows anymore? But it's like those, like, you know, very, very specific, minute details about like world level things, you know, that's difficult to predict. But saying things like, you know, in a general predictive scale, you know, this might happen with the economy or whatever, or maybe, you know, there might be more delusion from the media, that kind of thing. But it's more like a guidepost for people instead of scaring the shit out of them. That's not my job to scare the shit out of people. It's to prepare people so that they're more open-minded and they're thinking critically when information that might not sit so well with them at first comes in. They're like, oh, okay, you know, the astrology says this, that's a red flag. Maybe I should pay attention to this and not believe it right away.
Yeah. So I forget, do you have a Capricorn stellium? Because I know you're a Capricorn sun.
I don't have a Capricorn stellium. I have 2 planets in Capricorn. I have a Mercury in Capricorn and a Sun in Capricorn. My rising is in Capricorn, but that's not considered a stellium because it's just, you know, the rising is like an axis. It's, or an angle rather. It's an angle.
Oh, so So your rising is in Capricorn.
Yeah, yours is too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what does this mean for us? Like with Mercury going retrograde in Capricorn, what does that mean for us?
We're gonna be misunderstood. A lot of people are going to misunderstand people with Capricorn
Good.
or strong Capricorn placements around
Good.
that time. Yeah, we might have to be very, very careful about how we communicate with others around that time, or even how we're trying to come across. So I feel like that's probably not the time to do like a social media overhaul or trying to like overhaul your personality or, really make a big sweeping statement if you're rising around that time.
Okay, because I've been feeling compelled to do that lately. So maybe
Me
I'll
too.
just hold off. You have me too. I'm just like, it's time to stand in my power. Like I have stuff to say. When does this retrograde start, Sarah?
I believe it's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas. I believe it's Christmas Eve. In 10 more days, I know we're getting on the shadow period. So yeah, it's Christmas Eve.
Do we still have time to make statements?
I say do it. I'm gonna tell you, no matter what sign you are, rising, just do it. Stand in your power.
Do it.
Always stand in your power. It's never the wrong time to stand in your power.
I love that. You always have. So also so tell us, like every day you come online and you do a beautiful, overhauling. It's always different of like what's going on and a daily message for everybody. Tell us about that. You've been doing this for a while too.
Yeah,
now, right?
A year and a half.
Yeah.
So, I was a school teacher, classroom teacher for 13 years. And so I decided to make my Instagram page about 2 years ago. We're coming up upon the 2-year anniversary. It's like, this public school job, it's just like, it's burning me out. It was like completely burning me out because it was not just the pandemic. It was just like a lot of policy changes in the schools that were like, I've had enough. And plus I was a special education teacher with high school students, and I was working in an inner city school, so kind of violent. So I'm like, I think I'm just going to do something else that I've always wanted to, do professional astrology. It's always been a big hobby of mine for since high school, which is 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, let's just try it out and see what happens. So that summer, after I retired, I'll say retired because it wasn't a true retirement, but, I'm never going back there. I decided, how do I get people to know me and trust that I'm actually a reputable astrologer? I'm just going to do daily videos. So 5 days a week, Monday through Fridays, I come on Instagram, usually sometime in the afternoon. I guess it's the morning if you're in the West Coast. And I just give a daily rundown of what to expect that day. If it's Friday, I do a whole weekend horoscope, and I also pull some tarot cards and oracle cards for an additional message. And sometimes I get out my sound bowl. Sometimes we need that sound bowl to just breathe and calm down. And it resonates with a lot of people. And, some days I get bigger groups than others, but it's whoever needs to hear it, it's going to hear it. And that's it. I don't need to attract a million people to my page. I just need to attract the people who resonate with my message.
Yeah. And I have to say personally, over, when I moved to Colorado in 2020, I would listen to you every single day, and it was so helpful to me. And I still love listening to everything that you're doing. These days I don't have time every single day, but I literally at that time, I looked forward to that every single day, and I definitely want to say that on camera for everyone to hear, Sara is a really special human being. And, and so many beautiful healers out there, they do this out of the kindness of their hearts, and of course they love doing what they're doing. But Sara, for example, she's doing that just so whoever needs to hear it can hear it. And they all get saved too. So you could always go back and listen and see where you were at that time.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. I actually do that sometimes. I'll even listen to some of my past horoscopes. I call them tarot scopes because I use the tarot and, astrology. okay, what was my beginning of 2022 tarot scope? Like, what did I say? And has it come true? Is it resonating? I'm like, yeah, it is. It's crazy. So like,
Love that.
yeah.
It's true. I love that. Yeah. So you've been like building like a team recently, right? And you guys just launched a website.
Yeah, recently. So this summer, so it's so cool the people you meet on social media. Like I met you, I met your best friend Jackie. I mean, like you guys are amazing. Just so many amazing people I wouldn't have met otherwise. And just
Right.
beautiful soul family. So about a year and a half ago, I started, well, I don't know who followed who first. Like, who knows with these things anymore? It's like, I don't know. Like, I don't keep track of that. So Taylor Fortune and I started following each other on Instagram, and he is a tarot reader, and his mom actually created the deck Tarot the Spirit. And his grandma, like she's an artist and she illustrated the deck. It's beautiful. So we started like following each other, and I asked him to do the show Cosmic Love with me that I like came out with like with automatic brain. Like, I need to find a male partner for this show. Like, and then like, he needs to like really like be very like bold and be able to like talk about sex and everything. Cause it was all about astrological compatibility. So we became close friends, and then he was friends with BA Shay, and she has her own lash business, and we just all became friends. And she's also an intuitive. She's an intuitive manifesting psychic. Like she knows how to like use the law of attraction like no other. So, and then Taylor started doing lives with Ishmael. Ishmael contacted him, Ishmael Perez, who wrote Our Cosmic Origin. And he's a starseed type person who like understands all like our cosmological history. And, you know, I was teaching astrology classes, and you took them with me, you know, when I started, and Taylor is teaching tarot classes. And when he's like, we should start our own astrology and tarot school. And I was like, yeah, we could do that. And they kind of went in the back burner because we were doing other things as like life goes. And then when he, you know, became closer with Ishmael, it's like, you know, you should teach about starseed cosmology. And then we just decided to create the Mystic Arts, the mysticarts.org. And we have so many different classes on there. We have astrology levels 1 through 3. We have starseed cosmology. We have magic classes. We're going to introduce a love magic class starting in January, which is all about self-empowerment, twin flames, and coming into union with soul family. We also have psychic clairvoyance classes. I think I already said tarot classes too. Energy clearing workshops. Just, we have so much to offer, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing seeing the growth, and also seeing the progress of a lot of our students as well, and following what they've been doing. So just amazing progress in the past 6 months. And I can't wait to see where it goes.
That's amazing. And that's such a good crew right there. The 4 of you. What a crew, really. You just all exuberate light and like fun, and such a good example of like just having fun. You know what I mean? And like being the light and having fun. And like you said, soul family. And that's so important, because right now with everything, I think that now is the time that humanity is going to find their soul fam. I know for me, that's exactly where I'm at, like finding my soul fam. And I mean, soul fam goes so far and so wide for me. I've never been like a cliquey person. I'm always like, you're soul fam, you're soul fam, you're not, you're soul fam. You can go now. Such an annoying Aquarius.
I love that about you. I love that about you. Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense, Aquarius energy, because it's like we want to, well, people with Aquarius energy or 11th house energy, I could identify because my Uranus and South Node are in the 11th house, which is the Aquarius house.
Really?
Yeah, it's in Sagittarius. So that means I like to create friendship groups and like that help people, but in like really different ways. And I also like, I'm attracted to different characters. Like I don't like one type of person as a friend. Like I'm like you, I never was in a sorority. I'm like, ew, like I was like a social butterfly, like you said, just like different people from different groups and everything like that. So
yeah,
it's important that we use our discernment too, you know, when calling someone a soul family member, because not everybody is. Like someone might like come on and at you hard and like with love bombing. That's another thing I've realized, like the spiritual community, like you're my soul fan. It's like, no, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, come on, let's not do this yet.
Yes, that's been happening to me a lot lately. And it's kind of be a little bit overwhelming because like when I was like a kid and stuff, I thought everybody was my best friend. But like after doing so much work on myself, I'm just like, I just met you.
Yeah, boundaries. Yeah.
Yes. I feel like I'll always be working on boundaries for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have like 90 text messages right now and like 100 and something emails. Like, talk about boundaries. Like, I just haven't even had time to like answer stuff anymore. And like people, yeah. Because like Healerverse, that's what it is. It's a community for the spiritual and holistic community, is to be in one place, to come together to find like their soul fam, people in their local communities and also global communities, to find healers like Sara, you know what I mean? And like to be able to meet up and do full moon things or do whatever.
Wow.
The more love that's spread, the more love that continues to spread. The more like crap that we watch on the news, like the more crap that's going to happen, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just need to focus on good things and positive things. And when you focus on gratitude and positivity, and I'm not saying like be toxically positive and pretend that bad things aren't happening, but the more grateful you are, the better things come into your life. That's the truth.
Yeah. Like finding the best version of yourself includes some stuff sucks, some days suck, some minutes suck, but finding gratitude in that too. Like, I'm glad I can feel my feelings today.
Yeah, exactly. Like this morning, I had to wake up a little bit earlier and I tried to go back to bed, but I was like kind of half asleep. But I'm like, you know what? I'm really grateful that I at least can go back in my bed and not like run over to my 9 to 5. Like, isn't that really nice that I even just had this time to relax?
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's so empowering for others too. Like, you used to work in the school system. I used to work in corporate America, or whatever you want to call it, and take that leap of faith. I think that I predict that that's going to happen a lot more with the disruption of the government and corporate structures, that a lot of people are going to start their own things and just like invent things. And
oh yeah, that's what the Aquarius is. I mean, speaking of Aquarius, Pluto's going to, you know, ingress into Aquarius in March. Same as Saturn, it's going to be in Pisces.
Oh,
yeah. So, and then Jupiter will be in Taurus not so long from now too. So that means there's going to be a lot of change. I feel like, you know, people are definitely going to be more apt to break out of the matrix, what we call the matrix, you know, not work for the man anymore. And with that Saturn and Pisces too, I think there might be more emphasis on spirituality.
Yay. Okay, that I wanted to ask you about this. So how much longer is the North Node in Taurus and the South Node in Scorpio, and how long do all of those transits last?
Sure. So the nodes of the moon, North and South node, they change every 18 months.
Okay.
So this summer, I believe it's June or July. I don't have the exact dates. I'm sure there's some astrologers that are like, you know, some astrologers, they remember exact dates for everything. I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
No.
Like, when it comes closer, then I'm like, I know the exact date.
Of course.
I know it's June or July of 2023. So it's coming this summer. And then the North Node will be in Aries and the South Node will be in Libra.
Aha, because I was wondering which direction it went in.
It goes backwards.
Okay,
the nodes go backwards. Yeah, the nodes go backwards. They're always retrograde. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out for some time actually, because my North Node is in Taurus and my South Node is in Scorpio. So this has been a revolutionary So I guess 18 months. Time is flying,
Yeah.
but
So you're in your nodal return. So that means like you empowered yourself. This is your chapter of empowerment and going into your divine, soul mission, which
I
you
feel
have
that.
been, which you
I
have
feel
been.
that. I feel that. And it's so cool to see like others that have like the same north and south node and watch what's happening with them right now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's so
that's so
cool.
cool. What
Patterns.
is your north node in, Sarah?
My north node is in Gemini and my south node is in Sagittarius. So it
Amazing.
was the last set of nodes. So about a year ago, I went, well, no, a little more than a year ago, I went through my nodal return. And
Amazing.
yeah, and that's when
Makes
I,
sense.
my business, everything, that's when I stepped into my astrology business and met all these amazing people. So
Do you guys see how this all works out?
yeah, I know. Yeah, and Gemini is communication. So in my north node is in my fifth house. Fifth house is of entertainment, creativity. And yeah, I mean, I've always like done some of that. As a teacher, you got to entertain and be creative, but it's different when you're trying to create content for adults. It's very, very different. So yeah, it's been great. And for you, it's like you stepped into your stability, to what feels organic to you.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that makes so much sense for you too, because if it's in Gemini and that's an air sign and you're doing a lot more communication, right? Like air is like communication, like speaking, dancing, singing, whatever you want it to be, really. Like
I taught you well.
Clouds, like yeah, I know. The elements is something I've been working with for like probably like almost 3 years now. Like really tapping into like the elements around me in my day-to-day life and embodying them and stepping into them.
Very important.
Yeah, like it's so powerful, really. It's so powerful, and the power of the elements. But yeah, look at you. So what about Chiron? So my Chiron's a Gemini. What does that mean?
Okay. Well, you're not going to have your Chiron return for like another 14 years. So don't worry about it. So Chirons are wounded healer. Okay. So the wounded healer means that it's the trauma that you suffered when you were a child or an adolescent. And the healer part is that you heal that part of yourself, and then you don't do that to other people. And it's something you can also help other people heal. And then Chiron, it's in the same sign for about 7 years. But so it's like everyone who has that same Chiron in Gemini, which is 1984 to 1991 approximately. Everyone who has that Chiron in Gemini, they'll have it in a different house of their birth chart, and it might aspect different planets. So, everybody's trauma is different. We have a spectrum of trauma, right? It could be like, somebody told you that you were fat and ugly, all the way to, traumatic sexual and physical abuse, right? We have a spectrum of trauma. So Gemini, Chiron and Gemini generation, it's about expression, right? So it might be that you were hindered for expressing yourself, or you were punished for expressing yourself, or somebody tried to make fun of you for how you spoke, like speech problems. It just depends on where it is in your chart, in what planets or asteroids it's aspecting to. And then when you're 50, you have something called your Chiron return. And that means if you don't resolve that Chiron wound, it will start manifesting into physical symptoms. That's why a lot of people get sick around, age 49, 50, because you don't take care of, holistic health, right? You don't take care of your emotional and mental health. It starts manifesting into physical issues.
Yes. Thank you for saying all that. That's so true. And I feel like that is literally a lot of the trauma that I have experienced. And one of like my purposes because of it is like to show everyone that they can say whatever the heck they want and stand in their power and like be themselves. Yeah. Like, like I always picture like a box and like being put in a box, right? I don't fit in the damn box.
No. Well, you're an Aquarius. Of course you don't fit in any box. So.
Oh my God, I don't fit in the box.
Oh, you'll never, that's Aquarius, and you have the Capricorn rising too. So you are, I love the boss, whatever what was boss? What did I have? Boss lady or whatever,
Yes,
lady
lady
boss. Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
gotta
still wear
bring
that
that
stuff.
back. I
Yeah.
gotta bring that back. Healerverse like has been like transitioning to Healerverse for like the last 2 years. And I kind of put everything else like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this, you know. But I'm bringing back like health and wellness products and like candles and stuff. And like, it's gonna be called Healerverse though, you know,
I
and
love
just do
that.
everything Healerverse from now on. But I could totally bring back the Lady Boss gear because everybody's a lady boss. All women are. Stand in your power. I'm all about that.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Whenever I wear that sweatshirt, I get compliments. So
I gotta bring those back.
yeah, for sure. Makes great Christmas gifts.
Yeah, I miss like how it was like cut off in exactly the right spot too. Like
Hmm.
some sweatshirts are too long.
They are. Sorry, I just was slurping. Hope you can.
Good. What are you drinking there?
It's like the beach body. My friend Jen, she does the beach body. So, whenever you renew your subscription, it comes with it. So I just put like frozen fruit from Costco and then some almond milk, and there you go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love to juice. Like I pretty much juice every single day unless I'm traveling and don't have a blender. But
So funny.
there's gotta be a way to like tell every single Airbnb and hotel that they need to start having juices.
They do, because that's why your skin's glowing. Like it's glowing because of all the juice that you're drinking.
I love it. Like I love ginger and I love like everything green and just put it all in there. It feels so good. It feels so good.
It does,
Yeah.
because it's like to eat a giant salad, like, yeah, it's tasty, but like it's a chore, especially like when we're so
Yes,
busy. It's like to sit down and like make it and everything. It's just easier just to drink it.
exactly. I love it. So what are you working on now? Do you have anything coming out? Do you have anything launching?
Yeah. So of course, 2023 is right around the corner. So in 2023, like at the beginning of the year, I'll do the 2023 yearly readings. So if people want to look out for that, I'm going to do those. Also, BA and I are going to put out, like I said, the Love Magic class on the Mystic Arts. And that's all about, like I said, self-empowerment, manifestation, twin flames, and manifesting your soul family. So that we're going to put out that class. And then of course, I'm working on right now some other projects that I can't talk about quite yet. But we all have to keep some things quiet until they manifest into the physical realm. But yeah, so that's what those are the things that are going to come out very shortly here. Of course, astrology classes are always running on our website. And especially, I know a lot of people want to learn about themselves. Who are they? So I definitely encourage them. We have astrology classes at the beginning of the year too. And that's also in the mysticarts.org. But that class, that Love Magic class, that's going to be on a Sunday afternoon. So no one has an excuse not to sign up, because it's going to be at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So it's, I expect a lot of people to be in that class. I think it's going to be awesome. It'll be all about empowerment. And that's what we need. We need to learn how to empower ourselves. We need to learn how to empower ourselves.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, I love this. And I'm totally going to book a reading with you for the new year, like to find out what's going to happen for the new year. Even though I took astrology with Sarah, she's a professional. She's very experienced. Like she said, 20 years experience, and she speaks astrology. You know what I mean? I understand it. Sometimes I have to still look up what stuff is. I mean, it's like still integrating, because I'm like seeing how it folds into my daily life and plays out. Like Sarah's your girl for like definitely astrology readings. And yeah, and I'm honestly so grateful that I had her as my teacher, and I definitely highly recommend Sarah.
Thank
She's
you.
amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. It means so much to me. They're having me on today and you're saying my praises and you're talking about like this and that, like, oh, she gets it. She remembers, even though it was like a year ago, just like proud mama teacher moment.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much, even like your, like, what is it? Is it your Mars or your Neptune is for like your best partner sun sign?
It would be Venus, and then Juno is the asteroid of marriage. So gotta look
oh my
too.
gosh.
Gotta look at that too.
There's so much too. It's not just like a lot of people are like, what's your sign? But like the sun sign is I am, right? And then like everything else means something else. So
yeah, it does. Yeah, you can't just go by your sun sign. It's like sometimes people like that person doesn't seem like, you know, an Aquarius, or this person doesn't seem like a Taurus. It's like, well, let's see what the rest of their chart says, right?
Yeah.
You know, those horoscopes too. I gotta caution people, and they look at like a horoscope in the newspaper. If you don't know your rising sign, then you're not looking at the right one for you, because that sun sign doesn't mean anything for those horoscopes. It's the rising sign.
Amazing.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Is there anything else you want to tell us before we go?
Of course, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I do not only a birth chart and current transits readings, but I do Akashic Records readings and tarot readings, or you can book even like a combination reading if you want to know what's coming up for you in your astrology and tarot. We can do that too. So that's on my website, www.saraashley.astrology.com. Sarah without an H, by the way. And
right.
and I also do birthday readings too, which it's called Solar Return, and I can help you figure out the year ahead with that. And if you'd like to take a class taught by me, you can go on www.themysticarts.org, and I'd love to see you there.
Yay, thank you so much. And I'll put her contact information on here. We'll be sharing on social media. So yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you guys
Trish.
for listening.
Thanks. Take care. Have a good day. Thanks.